When you think of great guitarists, you think of Jimi Hendrix, Django Reinhardt, Chet Atkins, and many others, but you probably do not necessarily think of Prince, right? And that could be a mistake, because when Prince was in the zone, he could play some badass guitar. Prince playing the lead guitar solo on While My Guitar Gently Weeps. What an amazing guitar solo, beautifully done. Now let's take a look at the best moments of the solo and see if we can learn a thing or two. So, the song is in the key of A minor, and most people would start by improvising over the minor pentatonic scale, right? And Prince is using that scale too, but he starts off a lot higher on the fretboard. And the way he starts off with those long wailing notes, that's a confident beginning, very much like Jimi Hendrix indeed. And it's not just a matter of playing the notes. The notes are relatively easy. You need to attack the notes very aggressively, play loud and with lots of conviction. Beautiful. A nasty note to play on that A minor. And that's something he does throughout the entire solo, leaving the minor pentatonic scale and just listening to the chords in the background and improvising something interesting on the spot. Beautiful moment. This is so good. He starts off with a very regular blues type of thing. Something we heard before, playing it a bit faster. And you would expect him to go back to something like this. Back to the root note. But instead he comes up with something unique. Which no one would have expected. It's one thing to play this with a regular technique, but take a look at how Prince is playing it. Being able to improvise something like this on the spot, while also at the same time making it look cool. There was only one Prince. Very, very, very Jimi Hendrix-like. And what's impressive here is his vibrato. Prince has a magnificent vibrato. And all the while, he's also aware of the chords that are playing in the background. Now, the chords go downwards in this song. All the way down to the F chord. And Prince, being a great musician, instinctively he wants his melody to go into the other direction. So when the chords are at their lowest, the note that Prince is playing is at the highest. That's what's called contrary motion. When the melody goes in the opposite direction of the chords and the bass, that always works.
When they go low, you go high.
I can imagine it being quite nerve-wracking when you try and do something like that. Whether there's actually someone there to hold you, eh? It'd be pity if Prince just fell on the floor and that was the end of the guitar solo. Anyway, what he's playing is... to play it fast. And the great thing is, you don't need to be very precise. Prince is not shredding with absolute precision here. It's all about the feel, and it doesn't really matter if some notes are a bit messy or if it's a bit choppy. It's all about the feel. That's actually quite fast. Whoa! Here again, he leaves the minor pentatonic scale, not stuck in his little box here. And repetition, and now he just goes on and on and on and plays those three little notes a zillion times. Quite difficult. And if that wasn't enough, he starts to play even faster and more wild and outrageous. Man, what is he playing there? I think something like, let's do it first slow, something like... When you play something like that fast... Something like that, not easy to play at all, and even harder to improvise it on the spot while also entertaining the audience. We can all agree upon, I think, that after listening to this guitar solo, Prince was one hell of a guitarist. Now, if you want to play the guitar solo, don't forget that the tabs are available on my Patreon site, so be sure to take a look, and I will see you next time.
Don't think, feel.